Well, there you guys have it. That's Ulanzi's latest travel tripod, the Ulanzi Falcon Treeroot Quick Lock Travel Tripod. Yeah, they definitely need to work on their naming a little better. But anyways, they just went ahead and made the most perfect travel tripod out there. It's kind of almost like they put themselves into the shoes of an actual travel photographer, and then they just went down the list of issues that we ever had and kind of checked them off and solved them. And some of these new features that they implemented, I'm gonna be honest, they're absolutely genius. No, I'm not getting paid for this video, but Ulanzi did send me this tripod for free to make the ad that you just saw. So they're not like holding a gun against my head and I can still say whatever I want to say. So this video is going to be my 100% true and honest opinions. I get to talk about what I want to talk about, like what I do like and what I don't like. I'm sure you guys noticed it too, but this travel tripod here looks very similar to Peak Design's travel tripod. And they were one of the first companies out there to revolutionize the design of a travel tripod. They made it very sleek, very slim. The legs have no gappage in between them and it feels good in the hand. But as far as similarities goes, that's where it stops. Ulanzi just took the whole travel tripod game to the next level. And I'm going to talk about all the reasons why. Let's start off with the form factor. Ulanzi decided to take another step further, and they wanted an edgeless design, so they introduced the Raylo triangle tube. So the Raylo triangle tube is kind of like this oval looking shape, and when you close it, it's very smooth, very sleek, it's very comfortable in the hands, it's very rounded. This Raylo triangle tube only applies on the first leg segment. Once you open up the other leg segments, you'll notice that it's a cylindrical style leg shape. Generally, tripods want to have cylinder style legs because they're stronger and they handle stress better and they're also more resistant to bending. So let me show you guys. Once you go open up all the legs, lock them up, and I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to apply a bending force onto it. So I'm going to try to put some good amount of force, and you can't even really see the legs buckling. The joints are very solid. Yeah, this thing is very sturdy. As you can see, this tripod is not a full carbon fiber tripod. It's a hybrid mix between carbon fiber on the legs and the center column is made from aluminum. But not all carbon fiber are made equally. Ulanzi decided to use a high-grade carbon fiber called M40. What that means basically, it has a high modulus of elasticity, it's a stiffer material, and it's less prone to bending. Basically, it's the cream of the crop materials, which also adds to the price tag. Alright guys, so this is my favorite feature of the entire tripod. Check it out. So they made the center column from aluminum and they had these cutouts on it, so it also saves on weight. It also looks pretty sick. The triangular center column is also indented on the face, and that way it matches perfectly with the Raylo triangle tube. And that's their secret of how they create this super sleek, flush profile. Now, why is it my favorite feature? So let's say you're trying to get that super low to the ground shot, you open the legs, and by the way, there are 3 angles to reposition the legs. There's stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. Now the issue is center column kind of gets in the way as you put it to the ground. And here's where it gets good, so listen closely. They made a quick release center column using a butterfly latch. You just push this button in, latch pops out, pull up the latch, and it breaks down just like that. No tool required, just the built-in mechanics. Here, check this out. That's my lunch. Putting it back on is just as easy. You just line up with the notch, put the butterfly latch on, and snap it right back in. Alright, now let's look at leg locks. So, I've always hated twist locks, and ever since flip locks came out, I've never looked back once. It's just much faster and much easier to use. But Ulanzi, they came back with twist locks. Here's the twist. It's called the 1/3 limited lock, and essentially you're just doing 1/3 return from here to here, and it's unlocked from here to here. Open, close. That changes the game completely because now it's really fast to use, really easy to use, and you can just have one hand grab them all and unlock it all, and everything just falls out just like this. So by design, twist locks are essentially much stronger than flip locks just because they apply all the force around the tube 360 degrees, whereas latch locks, they're kind of like just clamping it from the top and bottom. Usually the side to side, they're not as strong, and that kind of allows room for your legs to accidentally slip back in. On the Treeroot tripod, this thing is solid. It's rated up to almost, I think, 40 kilos. So it's heavy duty. For this size and compactness, it's pretty impressive. So, you know how Apple has this whole ecosystem where everything's compatible with each other? Ulanzi is doing something very similar. They made a lot of products, they're very quality products, and using with one base plate on your camera, it can snap onto any of those products, accessories you have. So I have the backpack clip, and you can basically transfer your camera from your backpack clip onto the tripod, release it from the backpack clip, and then you snap it onto the tripod. It's very simple. If you look on the top of this ball head, you'll see that there's these cylinder columns protruding out. These are actually anti-slip columns, and essentially it's to keep your camera from falling off. When you're holding it in any kind of direction, it's basically made foolproof. So on the side you have this lever release. So let's say you mount your camera on it right here. And here it snaps right on. So you don't have to do anything, it locks it in, and it's pretty sturdy. You can actually tighten it a little bit more if you want. You can push it in just to be safe. If you want to take it out, you just pull this lever, and basically the camera comes off just like that. It's really easy to use. It's much better than those traditional turn knobs that you find in almost all of the tripods. I've always hated turn knobs. Also, one of my favorite features is that the fact that it has a panning head. So on the back over here, there's this knob, and you kind of like just turn it halfway through and it releases, and you can rotate and pan your camera on top of the tripod. Most people think this is more a feature for videographers, but it's not really a fast pan. So if you're tracking something fast like a cheetah running across the field or a football player running across the field, it's not going to be the best panning ball head. It's not really meant for videography. I think it's meant for more so micro adjustments. The panning is very smooth, it's very slow, it has one speed. You can't adjust the speed of the panning. But the reason why this panning ball head is very important is more so because when you put the camera into vertical shooting mode, you can't really move the camera up and down. You can move it left 360 degrees, but if you want to move up and down, you release the panning ball head lever, and now you can shoot any direction that you desire. Now, one of my favorite features on this ball head is actually that it has a click dampening system. So what that means is over here there's a tiny little knob. It has, basically you turn it one way and you turn it the other way, it has this click haptic feedback. So if I turn it all the way towards the left, towards the minus sign, and I release this ball head lever, the camera just falls on its own, you know. But if you tighten up this the other way towards the positive sign, now it becomes really tight on the ball head, and when you open the lever, the camera holds on itself. You can make these micro adjustments just by turning it, and it holds its own weight. So it's very useful. I use it a lot actually. I almost keep it on the positive side very tight, just so when I release the lever, I can just make micro adjustments so I don't have to relocate the whole positioning of the camera once the camera falls on itself because it's so heavy. Let me just run over some honorable mentions with you real quick. So over here you guys can see they have rubber foot pads right here, but in some scenarios, you're gonna need spiked feet in like loose dirt or in grassy situations. Most other tripods, they come with a tool and you can kind of replace this rubber foot pad and replace it with the spiked foot. But that's very annoying, and just having an extra tool almost makes me not want to use it. I have enough stuff already. I don't need to go be digging through my bag for another tool. So what they thought of is they made removable rubber pads on the foot. Basically, you kind of peel it off right here. So you push this up on one side, and the foot pads come off, and you have built-in spiked feet. Super cool, right? I know what you're thinking, will these things come off? Actually, no. So if you put this back on, they're pretty sturdy and snug. There's a specific way to take them off, and nobody told me because there's no instruction manual for them. So you would think that you would just kind of pull out and it would come out, but no, this thing is built on solid tight. So there's a way you kind of have to put both your thumbs here on the side, and then you just kind of push one direction, and then that's how you get it out. So that's how you do it. It's not that easy either. So it's the last thing you have to worry about. Just put this. The next thing is they have an F22 mounting system right here. And as for Ulanzi, they have a separate F22 mounting system. So the top is F38, over here is F22. On the side, they have an RE expansion mounting system as well. So there's a lot of options for you. It's just built so robust, and there's so many kind of little gadgets where you can just put it here, put it there, and just make it the overall perfect tripod. This thing comes in at $499. It's not a very cheap tripod, but for all that it's worth and all the features that's built in and the solid construction and the state-of-the-art materials that they use, it's almost pretty much worth it. It's definitely a buy once and cry once type of purchase. It's not going to be easy on your bank account, but everyone needs a tripod. If you want something that's future-proof, this thing is it. Like, I don't even know how would they improve the next iteration of this tripod. Like, actually, I do know. So if they can make this tripod lighter, so right now this sits at 1.5 kilos. If they can make this at the 1 kilo mark, that'd just be perfect. And maybe a little bit shorter, so you can put it in your backpack, inside, and all these little places. Because the purpose of a travel tripod is to be as minimalistic and lightweight as possible. So the design is already there, the features are there. It's just if they can lighten up the tripod just by a little bit. I don't know how, because obviously to keep all these features, you kind of have to have the weight that goes along with it. But that's all I gotta say really against this tripod. It's just the weight and maybe the size factor of it that they can improve on. Anyways, thanks for listening to me rant. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It will help out so much. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video.